It was a crisp, clear morning when Emma, Chris, and their friend Tommy decided to embark on a hiking adventure through the rugged mountains. The trio shared a love for the outdoors, and their hikes often led to memorable discoveries. However, on this particular journey, they would stumble upon something extraordinary, something that would change their lives forever. As they climbed higher into the mountains, the group came across what appeared to be an old, weathered stone structure, partially buried in the earth. Intrigued, they approached and discovered a large, circular stone blocking an entrance. Their curiosity piqued, and they decided to investigate further. The stone was massive, and it took all three of them working together to push it aside. With one final heave, the entrance was revealed. The dark void before them exhaled a stale, musty air that sent shivers down their spines. Armed with headlamps and an unyielding sense of adventure, they stepped cautiously inside. The tomb was damp, its walls lined with unfamiliar symbols and hieroglyphics. The air was thick and oppressive, amplifying the sound of their footsteps echoing through the narrow passage. Chris and Tommy, brimming with excitement, pushed forward eagerly. But Emma hesitated. She could feel a growing unease with each step they took. Despite her protests, her friend's determination convinced her to continue. The passage seemed to stretch on endlessly, but eventually they arrived at a heavy locked door. Its surface was carved with more intricate patterns, and it radiated an ancient, mysterious energy. Tommy picked up a nearby stone and struck the lock repeatedly. It took several attempts, but the lock finally broke, and with a loud creak, the door swung open. Beyond the door lay a chamber that defied their imaginations. The trio gasped as their headlamps illuminated the scene before them. A large circular room filled with skeletons. The bones were arranged deliberately, with one central skeleton clutching a shiny object, a box adorned with intricate inscriptions. The eerie sight left them both awestruck and uneasy. Chris and Tommy debated how to retrieve the box, while Emma pleaded for them to leave it behind. She stood outside the circle of skeletons, refusing to come closer. Despite her fears, Chris and Tommy pressed forward. With trembling hands, they carefully pried the box from the central skeleton's grasp, the brittle bones snapping under their touch. The box was heavy and cold, its surface covered in symbols and patterns that seemed to tell a story. Emma, despite her initial fear, found herself drawn to the puzzle. She studied the inscriptions, tracing them with her fingers, and realized that the box was a complex mechanism, a puzzle box waiting to solve. With growing confidence, Emma worked to decipher the symbols, twisting and turning the pieces into place. As the final piece clicked, the lid popped open. Inside, nestled in a velvet-linked compartment, was a gleaming golden key. Its intricate design hinted at its importance, but the group had no idea what it might unlock. Determined to solve the mystery, they began searching the chamber for a keyhole or hidden door. Hours passed with no success, and frustration began to set in. Just as they were about to give up, Chris discovered a loose stone in the wall. When he pressed it, a hidden door slid open, revealing a second chamber bathed in an otherworldly light. The new room was breathtaking. Shiny statues, glittering treasures, and ancient artifacts filled the space. Strange manuscripts and detailed maps adorned the walls, each one hinting at stories long forgotten. The trio marveled at their discovery, but their moment of awe was interrupted by an eerie sound. Fear gripped them as the whispers grew louder. The sound was accompanied by the clinking of metal, sending chills down their spines. In a panic, Chris bolted back toward the entrance, with Emma and Tommy close behind. As they reached the passageway, they realized with horror that the metal door they had forced open earlier was now shut and locked. Desperate to escape, they tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. In their panic, Emma remembered the golden key. With shaking hands, she inserted it into the lock and turned. The door creaked open, and they sprinted toward freedom. As they emerged into the daylight, relief washed over them. But their ordeal wasn't over. Questions lingered. Who had locked the door? What were those whispers? Despite their exhaustion, they knew they couldn't leave the mystery unresolved. They decided to report their discovery to the authorities. Initially met with skepticism, their story eventually convinced 2 officers to accompany them back to the tomb. Upon reaching the site, the officers were stunned by what they saw and immediately called for backup. Soon the area was swarming with police, archaeologists, and experts eager to examine the ancient find. Investigators uncovered the truth about the tomb. It belonged to a lost civilization, its artifacts and treasures preserved for centuries. However, the mystery of the whispers and the locked door persisted until they made another shocking discovery. A group of grave robbers, lured by rumors of hidden treasure, had been inside the tomb at the same time as Emma, Chris, and Tommy. The robbers had locked the door to trap the group and prevent them from escaping with the treasure. Thanks to the trio's report, the robbers were arrested and the treasures were secured. The discovery made headlines, and Emma, Chris, and Tommy were hailed as heroes. The artifacts and manuscripts provided invaluable insights into the ancient civilization, and the tomb was eventually transformed into a museum, allowing the public to marvel at its wonders. Despite the terror they experienced, the adventure strengthened their bond. Years later, as Chris and Emma started a family, they asked Tommy to be their daughter's godfather, a testament to the enduring friendship forged in the depths of the mysterious tomb. Their story became a local legend, a reminder of the thrill of discovery and the courage it takes to face the unknown. Though the tomb held its share of fear and danger, it also offered a glimpse into the past, a treasure trove of history preserved by time and revealed by chance.